While most of us have embraced digital culture and have difficulty imagining an hour, much less a full day, without going through our email, surfing the web, or updating our Facebook page, we also harbor an unease with our reliance on these technologies, since we may be missing out on other, more important experiences while online. But we generally keep these concerns at an arm's length as the cursor pulses on. Joining me today to discuss this growing disquiet is fellow Arlingtonian Sven Birkerts. While you may associate him with one of his previous books, the Gutenberg Elegies, he is most recently the author of Changing the Subject, Art and Attention in the Internet Age, the basis of our discussion today. Thanks for joining me today.
My pleasure.
Well, you write about one of your real worry. It's less to do with sort of the overthrow of the human intelligence by artificial intelligence, and more sort of at the very rapid erosion of certain types of thinking.
I mean, I do think we very quickly adapt reflexively to the things that we do in our lives. I think it's no secret that a huge number of people will spend most of their day within 2 or 3 feet of a lit up screen with writing and pictures on it. That can't but condition us. All of our activities are conditioned to some degree by this amazing power that we have sort of unleashed, much of which is hugely good and gratifying. But I just don't think you can have any power that doesn't have a kickback effect. I think a lot of my interest is trying to think of how we can live and what we can do given that this isn't going to go away. People aren't going to say, oh, we're going to embed as ever more deeply. But does that mean we're trapped, stuck, without recourse? And that's why the word attention is so important to me, and it's part of the title of the book. I basically propose kind of the restorative power of art in various ways. I don't mean just painting art, but anything that took time and imagination and,
Creative pursuit.
Creative pressure to create is also something that offers us something to hold up against that relentlessness. But for that to work in any frame, whether it's in terms of listening, looking, or reading, it requires us to be able to attend to it. It makes it hard for us to become so singularly attuned to the one thing that's in front of us. And it doesn't have to be a work of art. It can be making a pie crust, but it is bringing yourself fully to bear on what you're doing in a way that suddenly, if you've spent most of your time being in some state of distributed awareness, which I think is a lot of how we are forced to live, then the action itself, almost no matter what, when we find that we're just absolutely riveted, watching a snail going along the windowsill, something happens. Something happens. That which is fragmented, at least for that moment, is made into a singular point of focus.
For Sven Birkerts, I'm Peter Bermudez for Arlington Public News.